Let's talk about some NBA now. We'll go international. Monks, do you want to bring up if there's a mini or the game, the Suns versus Clippers from today, please?
Game 6.
Game 6. And yes, the Phoenix Suns are into the NBA Finals. Yes, that's right. The Phoenix Suns. They went 8-0 in the bubble last year, and everyone thought, holy shit, this team is fun. They recruited a guy named by the name of Chris Paul. Yeah, you may know him. And he has brought the team to his first and the team's first for a long time. The NBA
1993,
Finals.
I believe.
Charles Barkley days.
Barkley,
so obviously going down to the Jordan Bulls.
Shout out to Chuck if you're listening.
I nearly did my Shaq. Terrible. That's all I've got. That's all I've got for Charles Barkley. And that man, Chris Paul, today. Alien mode. Went alien mode. I think he was at about 13 or 14 points at the half. Was in that control mode.
It was 9 at the half, I remember.
9 at the half.
9 at the half, and then went berserk.
He had 41 today.
The fourth quarter,
ended up with
fourth quarter was amazing.
He most points and a half for him in his career, let alone
Really?
right. Like so good, and we've shouted him out here on the Esky. We've talked about how good that recruit is. It's going to be one of the all-time recruits. This team's gone from a fun middle of the table, could they make the playoffs, to being the best team in the West. And we talk about that West and how jam-packed it was, and for Phoenix to be at the top, obviously led by Chris Paul, but Devin Booker, who's just a machine.
Look at that first play. That's just a Chris Paul dime for an alley-oop. Like they are fun to watch.
DeAndre Ayton under the rim. He's a beast. He's just a beast. He blocks. I said a couple weeks ago, he doesn't just dunk the ball. He yams it. He breaks that rim. He's angry. That rim owes him money.
And he's just well, you know what else is money? DeAndre Ayton double because he just does it just about every
and big gets lots of rebounds.
Like today, 17 and 16, I think was his line. Let's cast our minds back to earlier in the matchup. So I think they were was it 2-zip?
Yes. Yep.
It was 2-zip Suns.
They won that real close game too.
And that was at the time of our last recording. So back to game 3, the Clippers took a game, the first one in LA. That was CP3 coming back from his stint with the Coco.
Yep.
He was a bit off.
Very off. Couldn't hit the side of a barn.
Booker was a bit off. Reggie Jackson was okay.
So did he break his nose in that game, or was that?
Yeah.
I thought it was game 4.
No, I think it was that game. I think it was that game that Booker broke his nose.
Yeah, game 4. Yeah. If not, he was wearing the mask. So either way, like they,
No, I feel like it was game 3 that he broke his nose.
Yeah. Anyway. So game 4, he would have been wearing the mask. Because
Yes.
that's my point. Is like he's playing in a mask, which is a bit different.
Yeah, wasn't the one where they won by just like?
No, he broke. It was game 2 that he broke his nose.
Yeah.
because we mentioned it last week, and we said we were saying, "Oh, is his nose broken?" Yeah, it was so game 3 was the mask game, and Paul George was pretty good that night. He had 27, 16 boards and 7 assists.
Yep.
And we alluded to it that they've gone 0-2 in both of the playoff matchups so far, and they did it here in the conference finals, and they managed to get game 3. So
the buzzer beater I think was the main thing. That was a 3-quarter. It was a
half
third.
time.
Sorry, I'm looking at
half time.
I'm jumping ahead.
Half time, but it was ridiculous.
But
they got that game pretty comfortably. Moving into the second game in LA, this was an old school basketball game. Like I think guys from the 80s that love the kind of aggressive, attacking in the paint, driving towards the basket, good defense, pretty much no 3-point shooting, landing. They probably would have appreciated it. And there was the battle of the big men. We've already spoken about DeAndre Ayton. He had a 19.22 board double-double that night. But shout out to Ivica Zubac, because on like name-based comparison, Ayton shits on him. Shits on him. But he
matched up.
I think he played really well.
The whole series, really. Yeah.
The whole series, yeah. He was playing more minutes than he's ever played. And look, I'm not saying that Zubac and Ayton are the same player, but I think Zubac did all he could. And in this game...
he definitely... he's a massive part of them winning this game, that game 4. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. the CP3 interview at the end of this game, he was, I only had praise for the number 1 draft pick, DeAndre Ayton. He said, that man gonna get a bag. A bag of cash he was alluding to there. But yeah, I think he must be coming towards the end of his rookie contract and he'll be getting paid some fucking cash money.
I'm pretty sure he was the pick above Luca. I think they picked him.
Yeah, they did take him above
Luca.
Luka.
And then Trey went, in the top 10 as well. So.
Yep. And look,
they're all here. They're all
here, and hindsight's 2020. But a good big man, fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't grow on trees, so 100%.
This was watching this one. This was a classic. Like, okay, there's meant to be 2 minutes left, and it went for about 28.
Yeah. It's classic take misses. Look, there's 2 minutes left. I promise.
I'm nearly done.
I'll do it after 2 minutes. Look, I'm not lying.
I'll get the vacuum out in 2 minutes. There's just 2 minutes left, and then it went for half an hour. Dead set.
That'd be a timeout.
So there was a few challenges, and it actually gave the Clippers a really good look at winning this game, and they had to do the intentional missing the free throw, and it was Boogie Cousins, and he didn't know the rule that you have to
pegged it as hard as you could.
Yeah, you have to hit the rim, so he just belt like he did like a fucking Patrick Mahomes in the fucking back.
And then whistle straight. Everyone's looked around, guys. They're like that's what you had,
and they lost the game on that essentially. Like they lost a chance at winning the game on that. So
shout out to the coward Paul George for missing both his free throws before that. So really good on you, Paul. Did a great job.
That was a pandemic P game.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you which wasn't a pandemic P game. Game 5. Paul George goes out. He has 41 points, 13 boards, 6 assists. He shot 75% from the field in this one. I think in that game 4, he was less than 25%, and that would mark 14 times he's done that in the playoffs, the most out of any active player. Fuck being a punter. Like, you don't know who the hell's going to rock up.
Yeah.
Is it pandemic P or is it all-star?
Playoff P.
Yeah.
Is it all-star PG-13?
It's crazy how
Single-handedly won them this game.
100%,
really.
and how different he looked, and even today, like his confidence. He wasn't going to miss a shot going down. He was just hitting threes in people's face and just like driving the rim with all command. Went to the free throw line, was hitting down free throws. That's who they recruited and what they're paying all this big money, and that was supposed to be the Batman. Or the Robin to to Kawhi being Batman. So
we'll get to Batman probably at the end of this. But do you want to finish up with Game 6?
Yeah, Game 6 today. Thursday our time, Wednesday night over there in the States. The Suns get it done in 6 comfortably. CP3, we mentioned it before, 41 points. He was 7 of 8 from 3-point town. DeAndre Ayton gets a double-double, water's wet. A big story out of this was Pat Beverly big push in the back in CP3.
What do you think about Beverly throughout the series as well? Because he's kind of been trying to.
I think
he
always does it though.
He's entertaining,
but he guarded Booker really well.
Yeah, he's a very good defensive guard. Like he's been one of the best defensive guards in the league, and he talks shit and he gets in your face. But this at the end, real frustration.
Really
I mean,
CP3
said something to him.
Yep.
But it's actually and we talked about Zach Williams before. It's to do it to someone who's not looking at you, and I really hate this about basketball. Like if that gets done on the footy field, he's got 4 blokes on top of him.
Yeah.
Whereas that happened to your best player, the guy who's without him, you're not in the finals.
And you're copping it in the back. You can't brace.
You can't do anything.
It
actually would. It would hurt him, and he's on the. He's looking away, and now he's on the deck all of a sudden.
Yep.
And then there was a couple Suns players just stand there and be like, "Hey, you can't do that."
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I think
if there's an Aussie on that team, Patrick Beverly's having a wrassle. That's for damn sure.
Indeed.
Well, I think the big backup center for the Suns was right there. We're like saw it and was he's the first win, just straight right.
You're the big body, 100%. Or grab his jersey or something.
Yeah.
And that's all. He's just a lot of talk, Pat Beverly. So I haven't got much time for him or the Clippers organization. So just shattered to see them get bundled out. Lol.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone thought they were going to win after losing Leonard, their Batman, as we alluded to before.
Yeah.
I think Boogie was getting stuck into CP3 at the end of this. I saw the video. It was just like, no one fucks with you or some shit like that.
He did cop him with an Aaron elbow as well. And
there was a few elbows in this. So I thought I was watching a bit of UFC as well.
It was a bit chippy, And that's like the Clippers just have a bunch of those players that are just, you lost by 30 points. You're not as good a team.
Yeah.
And again,
Well,
Paul
missing
George,
the best player.
Paul George went back to being.
Of course,
They
if
forced him to
Kawhi
6.
plays this series, it's a different story, and that's been the story really of this playoffs. Is
too many
missing
injuries.
superstar
Yeah,
injuries.
we'll get to the big one in a minute. So.
Yeah. Anyways, the Suns go to the finals. They have never won it. Their last appearance was 93. The writing is on the wall for a fairy tale.
Absolutely,
CP3's career. He's 36.
They'll be favourites. They should be favourites.
He's never even
Massive. They're massive favourites
He's
now.
never played in the finals.
Yeah,
series,
isn't it crazy? We talked.
Yeah.
I think we did that a couple of weeks ago. Time at the Rockets when he got hurt. The Clippers just never reaching the finals. So now he's there. It's awesome for him, and he absolutely deserves it. He's a walk-up Hall of Famer, so hopefully he can get a championship ring to go with it.
Should we go east?
Yes. Bucks versus Hawks.
Desmond. Desmond
They
in the
are
east.
at a Desmond 2-2. At time of recording, it is 2 apiece between the Bucks and the Hawks. Game 2 was a big blowout, and I'll take responsibility for that. I took the Atlanta Hawks plus 14, and they lost by about, 30, over 30 something.
Yeah.
Mate, the Bucks had 43 points in the second quarter. This game was fucking done halfway through the third quarter. A lot of the stars took a seat and took it through to Game 3 back in Atlanta, and the Bucks took this as well. So they were. What are they at that stage? They were up
2-1.
2-1.
They were leading
2-1 after the Hawks took the first game. I'll tell you what, the blue kits from Milwaukee, I'm not a fan of it. Well, there's not much blue.
When you're an all-green team to then go all blue, I mean.
Like green, white, black makes sense.
Yeah. They look more like the Mets, I think, out there with the Blues. So.
Yeah, all blue. Yeah. Anyways, that aside, Chris Middleton, after he was very stinky actually in game 2. Did he cost you in a punters club?
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so. But that's he's very much like a Paul George. Like
don't
these
know.
guys
You don't
can't
know
lead a
which one.
team.
Yeah.
They can't lead a team. They need to be second. So whatever they're doing is dictated on what others are doing around them.
So game 3, 38 points, 6 from 12 from 3-point
couldn't miss.
land.
Of course, that's a game I didn't touch.
Batmans and Robins. Who's that idiot? Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah.
He said that Chris Middleton is Batman and Giannis is Robin.
Americans are so wild. Like they just.
That's super clickbaity. That's clickbaity.
But,
So-
and look, we're talking about it in Australia now.
Yeah.
But
But that's exactly. He's done it for
Like, he
that
doesn't
reason.
care.
He doesn't
Like,
believe
he
it
doesn't
either.
care
There's
about
no-
his integrity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll sell out.
Integrity. He doesn't care about his
I'm getting
integrity.
paid big
Need a
money
bit of
to
integrity.
sell out and say whatever
Yeah.
because it's not what the other guy says. So now we can argue about it for 10
Atrocious.
minutes and now we'll go to an ad break.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, I'll
God.
tell you who's not Batman. It's fucking Kendrick Perkins.
No, he was never Batman. He was the Penguin.
Shout out. Shout out Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
if you're listening.
big time.
Game 4.
Game 4.
Good
Hawks
game.
level it up. It goes 2 apiece.
Bucks.
Well, because going into this game, Bucks up 2-1. On paper,
This is what I was wanted.
on paper, the Bucks. Oh, I don't want to watch this. On paper, the Bucks are such a better team, but Atlanta have just been so spunky that every series, they knocked off the Knicks when they shouldn't have. They went up against the 76ers. They had no right winning that series. Trey goes berserk, all those games.
But then
Now-
Trey gets ruled out.
Well, and then so you think of this game, it's 2-1. The Bucks, no Trey. They haven't
Should
got
win big.
they haven't got another player averaging more than 12 points in this series. Trey. So you think, okay, now this is where the Bucks, the rollover. They were winning this game the whole way.
Yeah.
Giannis's injury
Yep.
was, and it's so brutal and just awful.
Hate to see it.
They were losing at that stage as well. It's not like they were. So the Hawks have just somehow, like they've got a team of no names led by Trey, who you wouldn't say is a superstar of the league. They've just brought it all together and they level it up at Desmond, as we said. And not by it was a comfortable margin. I think it was 20 odd points.
Team basketball. Well, I think it was closer than this for most of the match, and I think after the Greek Freak went out, that whether that deflated the Bucks and the
100%.
Hawks
And God, I'm not good at looking at this stuff, but the injury and then seeing him, he tried to force.
play the clip marks.
He tried to force
He's
himself.
okay.
He tried to force himself. Well, I looked at it straight away and said ACL, from my couch, on the other side of the world. But Woj bomb dropped today.
Yeah.
That no structural damage.
How that
That's-
happened?
Oh God, it's so jarring.
Well, I guess
That's.
This is the-
I
this-
hate to go physio student here, but that's actually it's not the classic mechanism of an ACL.
yeah, that's
Oh, I'm not looking at it. But just you see a
the
knee
fact
do
that, but
that.
the fact that everything is intact there, that's really encouraging.
Yeah.
The problem is that knee is swollen as fuck right now.
Yeah.
It's sore.
Yeah, it'll take a week or so to get anything.
Get that off.
And it's two apiece.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to find a way to try and win without him. And then I think he might be okay if they make the final. If they can get there without him, I think.
But so you're telling me that's a week injury?
Right.
Like that's a
Might be
week?
10 days.
Yeah, if they can get the swelling, it really depends.
Because with no structural damage, it'll literally be about swelling.
So this is the benefit of doing yoga and stretching, and
that's it. He's not
and being also a freak. So
And luck. And
Yeah,
he's an
absolutely.
athletic freak, but there's a bit of luck that no ligaments have gone there. But
100%.
that'll be swollen and sore as fuck.
and a long, like we said, Sean touched on it earlier about all the injuries. Like Leonard, Harden, Durant was hurt for a bit. Giannis, Trey missed a game.
Kyrie.
Luka was banged up. All these aren't
CP3 with
these,
COVID.
these aren't really good players. These are the best players
All
that
the
are
times,
getting
there's
hurt.
nothing like this has happened to a role player bench guy.
100%, and it's a battle of attrition. Like the Phoenix are probably the healthiest team. Booker's nose is a bit whacked, but
he's playing though.
CP3's back.
Yeah, we were talking about the
100%.
Batmans and Robins. It seems to only be happening to the Batmans.
That's
at the moment,
right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
they, healthiest teams fight, war of attrition. It's a long season. The playoffs are a whole new season. You talk about the Lakers; they've just banged up way too much this season. The Knicks, Randall just couldn't go anymore. You got to survive. The best ability is availability. Is the old chat.
And it's such a long season.
Oh yeah, like these guys have all played 100. Well, they haven't played 100 games, but the teams have played 100 games. That's just crazy of high intensity stuff now. So, Trey should be back tomorrow for this game. It was just his shoulder must be bad for them to say we're down 2-1. We're prepared to go in without Trey Young.
Well, they said it was a bone bruise after he stepped on the ref's foot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's cover for his shoulder.
His shoulder's been cooked. Again, banged up. He's got dodgy ankles as well at the best of time. I thought it was a bit of a shoulder thing because you see when he's on the bench.
Every single time he's
they
on the
put
bench.
a fridge. They put his arm in a
literally,
fridge,
yeah.
and he's got to sit. And then they just take it off, and he goes and shoots another 15 times. He's one that you'll see at the end of the year have a rest or a cleanup or something because. But him coming back into that team and Giannis going out of that team. That's what is that? A 30-point swing? Like that's
massive,
huge. Like on paper. So now the Bucks need Middleton to step up.
He needs to be Batman now.
He has to. Now's his chance. You still got Drew Holiday there, who's a very good two-way guard.
Yeah.
You'd think he would be able to handle a Trey Young, who's hurt on the other. He's a very good defensive guard who's been scoring really well this series.
But just everyone's going to have to be on their best.
100%.
Lopez,
Like,
PJ Tucker, they're going to have to play out of their skin.
Yeah. So
But who's the Hawks' second best player? John Collins? Like
Collins,
he's okay. Huerta, Gallinari. Like
Bogdanovic normally, but he's had a pretty.
He's been
a
off.
bit of a Brickdanovich this series.
Capella's been pretty
I'd say
good
Capella.
defensively.
Actually, there you go. That's
Capella's
probably
been
their
the
second best player on paper.
yeah.
But again, he's giving you 9 points.
And he's
this
not a
series.
scorer.
So-
He's not a scorer. No, he's not a scorer.
So you need Trey to come back still. Right now, I still say Milwaukee win this series.
Yeah, right.
I think Atlanta have done so well to get to this point. But I still go to the eye. I still go to the skill. Trey would have to go berserk the next, and he's hurt. So and you got Drew Holiday to deal with. I still think Milwaukee. You don't replace Giannis. You don't replace what he does. He's a freak for a reason. He's two-time MVP. Defensive Player of the Year for whatever that means. But I think Milwaukee, I don't know, maybe they spread it out a bit more. They do have a bit more.
Well, it would be interesting to see what their psyche is going into the next games, whether they're just flat because they don't have their Batman anymore.
Or does the news that, hang on, that's not an ACL. If we can get there and we can get there without him and then get him back in, all right. So all this stuff plays. Obviously, would you rather have Giannis out there? Yeah, I fucking oath he would. But I still think Milwaukee, they're just too good. Again, no one else is averaging more than 12 points for Atlanta in this series.
That's nuts, isn't it? It's nuts.
They've got a lot in that, 12 to 8. Like Lou Williams is still playing basketball, which is insane.
Yeah, had a day out actually.
So Milwaukee in 6 for mine.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me if we go 7.
7 would be the bet.
I'd love to see another game 7.
And what does this all play into? Phoenix's hand.
They can
You bang each other up, but your two best players get hurt.
Watch it for 10 days.
We've got a day out. Yeah.
For me, I'd probably want. I'm edging towards the Hawks. I'd like to see a Hawks Suns final. That's
gross. Yuck. No, just look like. Sorry, I just like if you said at the start of the year, it's going to be that. But it just looks bad. Like Milwaukee again. they've been so close the last couple of years. You've had
really
the MVP. It
pushing
would
for
be
it.
not like
Yeah.
it would be, and if you've got absolute crime if they got there and Giannis wasn't there,
Yeah.
that would be awful. But Bucks for one.
Bucks for mine too.
Up the Hawks.
Even without Giannis.
See you in the A.
Max, you want to weigh in? You going to give us a Desmond?
No, I have to go Bucks.
Ooh, Bucks with no.
It shows how good they are.
Yeah.
And it shows how good the
Yeah.
East is that
Yeah.
you take out the MVP and
And it's good for
they're
basketball
still
as well.
fine.
Like,
100%.
yeah.
And look, a Hawks Suns final is great for basketball.
Yeah.
To be honest, neither of them are big markets. Their fans are really cool. Like
Aren't they?
both those teams, they're loud. They get around. You know,
What's
you've got
the-
these superstars in Young and Booker. Who
What's the pop-up area they call around the Milwaukee? Is it Deer Valley or Deer... Something about deers.
Your story, man.
Anyways, essentially all the fans that can't get into the stadium in Milwaukee, they've got like a massive area and everyone's just drinking beers and watching the game.
Some sort of
Tailgate,
yeah,
massive, like, yeah, cool.
Looks like a bit of fun.
That being said, if Hawks made it through the finals and actually won it, they would be the first 5 seed to ever win.
First ever.
First
Ever
ever.
5 seed.
That's mad.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You forget they were the 5 seed as well. They were
Yeah.
just quietly there the whole year.
That's it.
Other bits of NBA news, the Mavs are going to make Jason Kidd their new head coach. He has been a head coach at the Nets and the Bucks for a long time. He's also been an assistant at the Lakers recently. He's going to replace longtime coach Rick Carlisle, who I knew had been coaching for a while, since 2008. Had that 2011 championship with Nowitzki there. 961 games coached,
crazy.
53% win percentage. So big shoes to fill there for Jason Kidd. If anyone can do it,
For sure.
unbelievable, like tactical basketball mind.
Has the resume.
Yeah, has the resume. So yeah, and going back to a club that
Carl, I would have coached him at Mavericks. Maybe not.
I feel like Jason
would've?
Kidd was there when they.
When Carl was he in the championship team?
Well, 2011 he was there, and you said he was coaching from.
I think he was in that 2011 team, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
NBA championship.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's a great coach. I think he's the one who sort of really helped Giannis, and Giannis speaks really highly of him. A lot of people wanted him to get the Lakers job. It was good of him to be an assistant coach. So he's seen it. He's won championships as an assistant. You know, they've got Luka. They've got to work out what they're going to do with him. Luka's like 10 times what Kidd was as a player. Like, you know, just ability-wise. Kidd was that, you know,
He's in that
all-round.
MVP conversation.
100%. So, the other big news, Ben Simmons officially out of the Olympics. There was rumours, you know, after the season.
Yeah, I think his statement was, "I'll work on individual development."
Which is really crappy because if he goes to the Olympics and helps us win a bronze, like...
There's no better place to work in your jumper.
100%. Like, we're going to let you shoot as much as you want, man.
Exactly.
Like, so it's kind of lame. Now he's, you know, everyone in the States hates him. Everyone in Philly hates him. Now you're backing out against Australia. Like, you've got 25 million people behind you, no matter what you do. But you do this. It's kind of a slap in the face. And it makes, all of a sudden you look at our team now and you go, maybe we're not that good. We actually have a pretty weak team. So, I will put my hand up. I put a bet on him to join the Warriors, and they were out at about $12, $14. Now they've come into the favourites. So I think he fits into the Warriors really well. I think there's a trade there for him. There's no way he's at Philly next year. I just don't think there's everything that's come out. If he's got any self-respect as well, he'd want to get out of there as well. Yeah. They have to change something because they can't reach. They hit a certain point every year and then they bounce out. So I think they're putting their cards, towards Embiid.
Yeah.
And see what they can get for Simmons. But again, you know, if he goes to the Olympics and tears it up, now they have a bit more trade value. It just sucks. It just sucks because I don't know. The Boomers are good, and I think they could have actually made it some noise. But
pushing for that medal as we talked about, and you know, the individual development. Everyone's saying he'll go away, hopefully work on his jumper and his free throw, but it's probably more likely his Instagram and TikTok. So,
it's going to make him more money. Oh yeah, it's just
my apologies if you said this while I was out at the loo, but you know the Boomers have lost 4 bronze medal games.
No, we haven't. I think we mentioned this last week, but
they finished 4th 4 times. So would love a medal.
This is and Paddy Mills won't be back to another Olympics.
No,
Joe Ingles,
Joe Ingles
another
will be
Olympics.
Aaron Lyons as well.
Bogus is already so.
Bogan's already retired. So
So I just said Pepsi, you take Simmons out and you kind of go, oh, we're actually pretty
It
thin.
hurts. It does hurt. But looking at that squad, I've never seen so many NBA players ever.
A couple bloody NBL players to feel. Chris Goulding's going to be in there to add some morale. But
it's probably his fourth Olympics or something.
So,
anyways, Olympics they're coming up. Yeah, and the basketball qualifying's going on at the moment. That's bloody 4 weeks out, and there's still teams qualifying. I do believe that's COVID related.
It wouldn't surprise me
going ahead.
with the NBA as well, like guys playing, so they try to leave it late.
Luka's been kitted out for Slovenia. A few of the Canadian superstars going at it. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
That'll wrap up NBA for this week.